Shut up and sit down.
You're listening to the Cheaters Never Pin podcast, a proud part of the Section 328 family. Follow us on Twitter at CheatersInVRPin. Now, live from ringside, it's Mr. Workrate and JC. Throwing Superman punches like Kevin Bieksa. It's the Cheaters Never Pin podcast. See what I did there?
I was waiting for more words, but yeah.
Unified front on the hockey thing.
Hashtag branding.
Yeah. Welcome to Cheaters Never Pin. I'm JC. Here next to me at the commentary table, my good buddy, Tom. Hey, Tom. I forgot your name for a second.
It happens. It's kind of like on that other podcast where they continuously call me Mr. Workrate. They forget my actual first name as if I just walk around with a lucha mask or something, which I have done in the past.
Yeah, that has happened. I have seen that occur.
Reportedly.
But I think that was another guy who now runs an orphanage.
Yes.
Yeah. So, anyway, welcome to the show. Tonight, we're going to talk about TLC, tables, ladders, and chairs. But not just the one match, like the entire pay-per-view named that.
However, it was just in one match.
It was, which is nice. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
We also got a match exchange. That's always fun.
Yeah, totally didn't listen and watch that match 10 minutes ago.
Totally didn't start watching it at 8:40, and then went, oh shit, this is longer than I thought it was.
It's longer than I realized it was, and
like,
probably could have fast forwarded through a bit of that.
Yep. For sure. But we'll get to that. It's going to be my catchphrase tonight. We'll get to that. But yeah, thank you for listening. Rate, review, subscribe. I don't know if anyone's rate, reviewed, or subscribed us lately. But if you have, thank you. I should probably check that. It's probably important to maintaining the quality of the podcast based on your feedback, which we so desperately want and would listen to.
Yes. You can mail us through, I guess, mailing means if we had a P.O. box. I think we technically do have a P.O. box.
We do.
But
you can get
Section
that
328 headquarters.
You can get that address if you sign up for the Section 328 newsletter.
Yes.
It's on the bottom of that. So there you go. Look at that. Pimping the newsletter that we get, I think, 10 words on a week.
Yeah. Hey, we get mentioned in it every week. We're in that bottom portion.
No, we're usually I'm usually first or second. This show's on the bottom.
But I mean, in the bottom part, it talks about the Cheaters Never Win podcast, the Cheaters Never Pin podcast, and I think there's a third spot. It may talk about the Patreon. I'm not sure.
Yeah, which is
but just that bottom bar.
Yeah, which Patreon. Thanks, patrons. When you go to cheatersneverpin.com and click the Patreon button and throw cash at us every month, and we thank you for that.
So here's a story.
Ooh. I'm seated and ready for a story.
Good, because my stories tend to run long, but I'll try to keep this one short.
I know that. That's why I do this podcast in a chair now.
It's standing is just, I don't know.
I do that at work all day.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't, but I still wouldn't stand. That's probably why I'll die early. Anyway, so we got a notification of a new Patreon, patron.
Ooh.
I don't know the actual terminology of how you're supposed to use that. Yeah, sure. They're just making up words. But so I saw it, and it had been an individual who I hooked up with some tickets for Tuesday's game. By the way, I'm sorry, but despite that, he still seemed to have a good time, and I was glad that somebody could enjoy at least the experience of going to a game. And
he truly experienced Canes hockey.
Yeah. But despite the fact, he still signed up as a patron, whatever. And I since I interacted with him, I'm saying that we're claiming this particular Patreon, Patchouli, I don't know.
Patron. Our El Patrons.
Our El Patron. That's our term
Done.
for people that do that now.
Yes. You can either be a bitch or an El Patron.
Yeah. They're the bitches that do it for free. Or you could achieve to the El Patron level. And my man Seth, who you can follow on Twitter at Tweets from Seth. I think that's what it is. I didn't completely label it. Yes, Tweets from Seth. We're claiming him as our original El Patron.
One of us.
We would like to thank him for following the podcast. And he sent a message to us and said to cheat mail, which apparently is a thing that they do on the other podcast. And his question, which I will steal, is who would win? Who would win? You got a little excited there. A tornado tag team match between the Cheaters Never Pin and Cheaters Never Win teams.
Well, that's easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's us.
If you want to say why, I've got someone that can better explain why. I just have to go grab them while you talk.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Well, I just figured that our specialty is professional wrestling. It's what we talk about. It's what we obsess over. We know the weird Japanese shit. We know the weird Mexican lucha flippy stuff. We go back historically. Mike and Derek, wonderful people, run a fine podcast of their own that has influenced us and pretty much pushed us into doing our own podcast. Great guys, fans of the product, but I don't know. I mean, I've seen Derek run now, watching him do the floor hockey game that they did for the Canes media, and I saw Mike move around a bit, and I feel that we've got the added step with the agility and the wrestling knowledge. So I think obviously it would be us. Plus, we do have the belts. JC's still looking for something apparently, so I need to.
We've been behind these mics for 9 months now, Tom. We've been here, we've been growing, we're giving birth. We're birthing this podcast, and you can do that for 4 years like those other guys. You can do it for 9 months. I'll tell you, in 9 months a lot can change, man. You can grow stronger, you can grow brighter, but one thing you can't do is get rid of the darkness. And we've got the darkness, man. We got it inside. We're gonna let it loose on them. Don't fear the darkness, embrace it, man. Run. Hey, we're back. There we go. Cool.
I didn't realize we were cutting promos because I would have gone little Macho Man, but
I considered going Hogan, but then that requires saying a bunch of words, and I don't think we should record a podcast.
No. Yeah, we could get in trouble.
But yeah,
it's almost kind of a hate crime to pull a Hogan promo.
We coming for you, Cheaters Never Win.
What you gonna do, brother? There, that's all I can legally say.
Much love. AJ.
So thanks, Seth. Appreciate
thanks,
it.
Seth.
And yeah.
Thank you, man. All right.
The hell were we talking about anyway?
We were going to talk about tables, ladders, and chairs.
Oh, right. There's a pay-per-view, wasn't there?
You said, oh, and I really hoped you were going to say, oh, my, and you went, oh, right.
That's what people expect. I'm not here to do what people expect.
Oh, you know what just occurred to me? What we should do if we're going to start a war, man. We need to pull a Shane, and we just need to show up at the worldwide headquarters and pick up a mic and go, under siege. beat the shit out of Mike and Derek.
Do we have to do it for everyone, too? Just, like, shove Pat down a flight of stairs? And...
push Oliver in a locker.
Yeah.
We can do it.
I don't know. Everything. I think
we've made it really public now, so the element of surprise is gone.
I was thinking of like bad things to do to Dan, but he'd probably enjoy them. So.
Tables, Ladders, and Chairs was a pay-per-view that happened this past Sunday in Minneapolis, Minnesota? Question mark? Yes, it was. All right. What'd you think, Tom?
Well, first time around, I fell asleep. Because now I will back that up a little bit by saying I had gotten up at 5 o'clock in the morning that morning for children's hockey. So, and I am an old man, so I cannot pull these all-nighters like I used to be able to. So I made it through AJ Demon, and then my body wouldn't take it anymore. So I had to later on watch the main event. And yeah, I mean, all in all, I think it was a pretty good show. It was pretty entertaining. More entertaining than it had any right to be, I think. Because it was, again, going into it, it was a 2-match card, and it still pretty much was a 2-match card. But yeah, I was entertained by it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this show. I know people people shit on everything online, but people were kind of shitting on the early part of this show and the main event, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. But I really enjoyed the show top to bottom, and it could easily be the best non-Mania, obviously, pay-per-view of the year. I think. I don't know what Tom thinks, because his connection died. And
I thought you.
Oh, he's back.
I thought you were going to talk more, so like, oh, what's your opinion? And I'll talk for a minute or so about it. Oh, what's your opinion, JC? I will say 3 words and then throw it back to Tom as he eats a fudgesicle.
What did we learn?
That you're a dick?
Okay. I said, what did you learn? What did you not already know for like years now?
I try to give you the benefit of the doubt sometimes.
I appreciate that.
The fudgesicle's melting.
Hey now.
Just saying.
Okay, well then I'll keep talking. You continue.
No. Oh, no. Let's be professional now. I'll put the damn fudgesicle down.
I don't want it to melt.
You wouldn't let me eat the donut last week. You won't let me eat the fucking fudgesicle now. So
when
come
did I
on,
not
let's
let
just
you
do
eat
a
fucking donut last week? When was that?
We went through practically the entire podcast, and I had this donut that was sitting on the couch, like waiting for me to eat it, and we threw it to you because I thought you were gonna go through this whole thing, and then you're like, "Oh wait, I have to go get something." Stall, Tom, and I'm like, I practically choked on the donut because it had powdered sugar on it. You don't remember? Were you there?
Okay. Yeah, I'm lucky if I remember my name from one day to the next most of the time. But you failed to inform me you were enjoying a delicious donut during the podcast last week. Had you told me that, I would have stalled for time.
Well, if more people would go to patreon.com, or more importantly, go to cheatersneverpin.com and click the Patreon button and support us, we'd be able to buy a second microphone so we could do this stuff in person, so that when I am eating a donut, JC can turn to his right or left, I'm not really sure of his preference, and look and see that I'm eating and go, oh, I should probably stall here, like they do in real radio TV show type things and like the podcast at the 328 World Headquarters.
Yeah, but I think part of our magic is that we're not looking at each other.
Yeah, I mean it's that illusion. It's the awkward silences when it's like, oh, am I supposed? Did you stop talking? Instead of the little hand just peek behind a curtain of other podcasts.
It's
like, when two guys work together in a podcast, when they're actually next to each other, they can kind of give each other little nonverbal cues to go, okay, you should talk now. Give me 2 minutes, that type of thing, back and forth. It's what they do in radio. We don't have that. We just fly by the seat of our pants here.
We don't even need that. We do very well with our chemistry, Thomas.
We do. We are flying completely off of chemistry and very little else.
And I'm pretty sure after 9 months, I figured out just staring at your Skype profile picture, I feel like it's talking to me. Like, that's you. And then when I see you in real life, I'm like, who's that? So if you could recreate that look more often, that'd be great.
Well, the Skype picture is like my old Twitter profile picture. So.
It is.
Whereas yours is just you sticking your eyeball out because you're part of Los Ingobernables de Japan.
That's for damn. Yep. Sure. I don't remember what I said that picture.
That's for damn yup sure.
Yep. Alrighty.
That'd be on a t-shirt if we actually had t-shirts. That's for damn yup sure.
I have a t-shirt. You can go to Amazon.com and search Section 328 and buy a fucking Sunshine t-shirt. Or you can buy your Shut Up Tom t-shirt. Both of us have t-shirts. We don't have one together, though. We're not sharing.
No.
I'm not sharing my damn gimmick money with this guy.
No, not at all.
No. Hell no.
We have our own separate tables at the outside of the show.
We're like, in 10 years, we're going to be at fucking Cornette, Star Maker, Kenny Bolin levels of just heat with each other. Just angry. God damn!
I just hope to get to the Cornette Vince Russo level of violence, or threatened violence and protection orders.
Meet me in the parking lot, Tom. No guns, no knives. I didn't say anything about a bat. I got a bat in my trunk.
Bro.
You would have to be the Russo, just based on being from that neck of the woods, wouldn't you?
Russo's technically my people.
Yeah, Cornette's kind of technically my people. Oh boy. That just got real depressing.
Yeah, we both feel shame now.
All right, back to TLC. Yeah, fun show. On the pre-show, Sasha Banks defeated Alicia Fox with a bank statement in 11 minutes. That sure was a match that happened, and it was fine.
I like Alicia Fox now.
Why is she... Okay, question number one. Why the fuck do we need captains for Survivor Series teams? We're not picking teams like middle school volleyball. And
when
two,
they could have
why is it Alicia
co-captains.
Fox? Oh, God.
Yeah, I had to bring that back in there. When you let me use the Cheaterson for pin account, I did that too.
When I let you, you're always free to use it, Tom.
I know, but I generally don't watch the product or enjoy any professional wrestling. But this is all fake. But
we've never watched this at all.
I just go to Scott Keith's recaps. I read them and I just repeat whatever he says on the podcast.
I just listen to Alvarez. Which is why I'm so goddamn angry all the time.
Oh, but why is it Alicia Fox? Because she's the only interesting character, female character on Raw right now.
True. That's a good point. Well, when you put it that way, Tom, I suddenly feel better about this.
I mean, what else is anybody else doing? Everybody else is doing the same exact thing they've been doing for like the last 6 months. I mean,
well, and they already ruined Asuka Monday night.
Yeah,
she came out to just no, like a little bit of a pop, and at the end of the match, no one gave a shit she won because she's no longer special.
Because she's a killing machine that can barely beat Emma.
Lol. Hey, I actually kind of enjoy Asuka now.
Now that no one else likes her?
Yep. That's me.
Okay.
I'm the counterculture guy. Tom, are you running a Commodore 64 near your headset?
Oh, is this a bad thing? Are you getting feedback?
Yes. I hear a lot of interference.
Don't rip on my Commodore 64, man.
Is your Atom family computer running right now?
I had a fucking Atom, all right?
Oh, shit, yeah, dude.
Behind the curtain here, I'm old, so I actually had a Coleco Atom that ran Buck Rogers off of cassette tapes and
nice.
Had a wicked dot matrix printer.
There's something soothing about that sound in 2017, though.
Yeah, it is. Is it better now?
Yes, it is gone.
Okay. I'm not sure if there is a cordless phone nearby too, so I'm not sure.
That's probably what it was.
All right, so I will lean over this way because it's away from.
Lean with it, rock with it, Tom. This podcast is off the rails tonight.
We just need a Potter. 1 week, we're just not going to talk about any wrestling at all.
We can certainly do that in one of these gaps coming up since we're getting close to the Big Four. We're not going to have pay-per-views every 2 fucking weeks anymore.
We'll just get Trash Newton on, and what we'll do is we'll book Trash Newton 1 week, and we'll book, like, I don't know, Brian Shaw the same week, and then the two of them can talk, and we'll just take the week off. That
sounds good. Would you like to guest host this podcast? And by that I mean do the entire show for us?
Yeah.
For the low, low price of $400 on cheatersneverpin.com and clicking the Patreon button. Anyway.
Or buy me a TV.
Or buy Tom a TV.
Yeah.
Rip.
Tom lost his downstairs TV. It's very sad.
I thought you were going to give a bigger eulogy, and I was going to sing Sarah McLachlan in the background.
No. No one wants that.
No. Asuka defeated, we went into this, so let's keep going. Asuka defeated him. We were supposed to talk wrestling, aren't we?
I guess.
Asuka defeated Emma with the Asuka lock in 9 minutes and 25 seconds. After, Emma got, 7 minutes of offense in? Cool, yeah. Man. I mean, it didn't need to be a 30-second squash. It should have been like a 2-minute squash. Let Emma get a couple shots in early. Asuka goes, oh, nope, we're not going there. Asuka goes, what the fuck are you doing? And just murders her. That's how it should have been. Without the potentially racist impression I was getting ready to do.
Pretty much Emma gets a little bit of offense in. They go back and forth. Emma lands a shot potentially near Asuka's mouth and, knocks the shit out of her. Asuka takes, 2 steps back, does the Asuka smile, and then Emma realizes, oh shit, I'm dead.
Yep. That would have been great. That's how that should have been. And it should have been the same thing on Monday.
That's how they built her up in NXT originally, and that's what you do, the same exact thing. If you're pretending like her NXT run never happened, which is ridiculous because you're building up this, oh, she's undefeated. You're saying, yes, this completely happened. Look at all of NXT. First thing you're doing is you seem to be forgetting that she's a dickish heel. So she gets called up. Apparently she's nice again.
Well, they did that to Bobby Roode.
Yeah, but Bobby's not necessarily that.
But here's my thing.
Yeah, I guess he is.
Here's my thing on that. I get bringing these people up as a babyface because everyone's excited they're getting called up and they're joining the roster, so they're going to get a natural, huge babyface pop on their debut. And even if you roll with that for the first week, that's fine. But, Asuka plays a really good heel. She's very good in that situation. So, next week, if we want to start building to that, that's the time. I don't think you have to come in as a heel out of NXT, because you're going to get that pop.
No, and the way I guess they could have done it, too, is that Asuka turned heel, basically, in NXT because she got bored.
Right.
And she basically kept mowing through people, and she kind of realized, you know what, I am so much better than everyone else. Pretty much prove me wrong. And that's fine. And it worked. I mean, it gave a little bit, because her character got boring after a while, so turning her heel gave her this other element, which, made it at least a little bit more refreshing, I guess. But yeah, if you're going to bring her back in, you don't make her heel. You don't necessarily make her face either. She's essentially should be positioned the same way Lesnar was coming in when he came back from UFC. It was, here's this machine. It's not necessarily good or bad. She's just coming in to mow over anybody who stands in her way. Yes, if you want to feed heels to her first, that's fine, because heels are going to be the cocky ones that pretty much go after her and be like, oh, she's not all that great, whatever, get out of here. And she mows through them. That's fine. It's eventually the faces are going to turn and be like, oh, well, you know, is she someone we can trust? And then, you know, mow them down too.
Yeah.
But no, we'll have her on Total Divas next year.
Oh God, no! Please don't make me stop watching Total Divas. That'd be terrible. She would not be good on that show.
Well, she wouldn't fit in Total Bellas, so she starts dating John Laurinaitis.
I'm in an open relationship. Oscar, come here. I want you to meet my wife. All right. Anyway, boy, who knew we could get some mileage out of John Laurinaitis on this show? But now we know.
That's pretty much as far as we could take it.
Yeah. You could just do the entire pay-per-view. No, I would not have a voice tomorrow. Those two sentences about killed me. Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann defeated Jack Gallagher and the Brian Kendrick in 8 minutes. Good cruiserweight tag team match. It was an actual cruiserweight match, so they did, you know, traditional cruiserweight flippy shit, and I enjoyed this greatly.
Yeah, it was a good match to get people, back into 205 or whatever, whatever you want to advertise cruiserweights as. It's still gotten to the point where it's such an afterthought for people. You get your match pretty much on Raw, which is more recently been almost completely dominated by Enzo. So you have a tendency to forget that, hey, we actually have extremely talented workers in this cruiserweight division. Maybe we should show it. And it was. We had, there's no real angle necessarily here, although they're kind of building to one now. Mm-hmm. Outside of Gallagher is now the protege of Kendrick, and Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann have something in common, which I can't exactly put my finger on.
Yeah, it's a tough one to decipher.
Yeah.
And then they had it was a 4-on-4 match on Raw Monday night.
5-on-5, I think.
5-on-5, yeah. So we're going to see the repeat of that at Survivor Series. I'm reasonably sure that's where this is going.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. It's a perfect Survivor Series match.
Oh yeah, because if they're given the time and allowed to just go like they can, that match will be very good.
I'm an old idiot. I miss Survivor Series matches. The ridiculous 5-on-5 with captains, and again, I don't know what the purpose of captain is. We've already addressed this, but just that 5-on-5 group through the eliminations where they pretty much go through like 11 minutes of match, and then suddenly like 4 eliminations happen in 15 seconds with eliminations by transition moves. But yeah, I want Survivor Series type matches in Survivor Series. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. Although this year they seem to be angling towards pretty much Survivor Series just being Raw versus SmackDown, which, okay.
I would say they're fighting.
It's taking them that long.
I would say they're fighting for bragging rights, but that's a different pay-per-view.
It's a pay-per-view that doesn't exist anymore.
I know.
Hashtag for now.
Yeah. Oh, goddamn, it's so good in November. In May, we should do it again.
Let's do it every month.
Twice a month. We do it whenever we want. We have the goddamn network, Tom.
I have no idea why my Vince McMahon suddenly turned into Yogi Bear.
Hey, boo-boo.
Let's do it every month. Goddamn. Hey, boo-boo. You're fired. I don't know. Anyway.
Kiss my ass.
Hey there, boo-boo. Why don't you kiss my buttocks? Anyway. We killed that dead. All right.
Yep. Ran that shit straight into the ground real fast.
We buried it. Buried alive.
Oh, God.
Hey, boo-boo. We buried it alive.
Okay. Alexa.
Dead as a doornail.
Alexa Bliss retained her Raw Women's Championship over Mickie James in 11 minutes and 25 seconds. Mickie James is so great. And I'm glad they're continuing this, and she's going to get another shot down the line, it looks too.
Yeah, I watched this Judgment's Away. I watched this without sound on because I was watching something else at the time, and I had it on my iPad going, so I was watching the match and kind of watching another show at the same time because family time is important to me as well. And after the match was over, when Mickie goes up, I guess, halfway down the aisle and ends up talking to, was it Charlie Caruso or
might have
somebody?
Been Renee. I don't remember.
It might have been Renee. Talking to other girl. And Mickie cuts a promo, and I can't hear it. I just see her pretty much crying, and I had to send a text to the thread, and I go, was that a retirement promo? And you're like, no, it's pretty much the opposite. I'm like, good, because I don't want her to leave.
That was such a good, endearing, babyface, like, fiery promo.
And she's done that. I mean, it's not like she's some half-ass worker that they pulled off the street. It's, she's a, 5-6-time champion or whatever.
Yeah. She's come back from being hit by a train. Like, it's incredible. That's right, folks. In case you're wondering what I'm getting at, Impact tried to kill her off by having James Storm push her under a moving subway train. So, FYI, look that up on the YouTube. That's a thing that happened.
I try to avoid any Impact/TNA.
I don't blame you.
I'd slash another thing, but that thing doesn't exist anymore.
No, it still does. It's just not part of...
Yes, not in connection with...
It's not Impact TNA Gufua anymore. Or Gufua? Gufua. GFW.
Nor is the NWA involved. Or maybe it still is. I don't know.
No, it's not.
Someone contact... Well, who knows? Billy Corgan might say...
Yeah, I'm Billy Corgan. I don't know why I want him to be Arnold Schwarzenegger so bad.
They're fucking twins, that's why.
Billy, play me a song on your guitar. If you want to buy a Smashing Pumpkins record, you can go to cheatersneverpin.com and click the Amazon button. Because that'll take you to Amazon, and you can buy stuff there. Did you know that? Amazon sells things, Tom.
I enjoy buying things on Amazon, like televisions, which I can't afford, but...
yeah. They'll also just come into your house now, I hear.
Yeah, you can just push a button or something like that and just let anyone enter your house and drop off a package and then take a package. It's like take a penny, leave a penny.
Yeah.
Take a package, leave a package.
Every day can be White Elephant in your house. Dirty Christmas, whatever you call it, wherever you're Yankee Swap, wherever you're from. Any of the colloquial terms.
None of these are euphemisms, by the way.
No.
I don't think.
Even though I should really check UrbanDictionary.com now. Hold, please.
Never checked Urban Dictionary for anything.
I am. This show's already so off the rails, it doesn't even matter. Everybody stopped listening 20 minutes ago.
When Vince McMahon, Yogi Bear came up.
I think I just made up white elephant because according to Urban Dictionary, it's a term referring to something not particularly useful that has the very high cost of upkeep, like this podcast.
Yeah, white elephant. You have a white elephant sale.
Okay.
Where, like, churches and for fundraiser type things, you take the things that you basically don't want and you kind of donate them to the church or whatever, and then the church just basically has their own yard sale.
Right.
And raises the money that way. So, yeah, that's how I know a white elephant sale.
Dirty Santa.
Or at least that term.
I don't know. Okay. Never mind.
Yeah, feel free to go to cheatersneverpin.com and click the Amazon button. Buy something completely useless that you don't want that has a high, tremendous price of upkeep so that you can take this white elephant to a white elephant sale, drop it off at some church where some other idiot will purchase it and potentially resell it on Amazon through their kind of side third-party selling if you want to, or not. Just give us money.
Yeah, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Or buy me. What you can do is you can buy me a TV. If you go to cheatersneverpin.com, click on the Amazon button, I can put a couple of TV selections on my wish list, and you can find those. We can link that, or you can hit me up on Twitter and be like, hey, what TV do you want? And I can give you the link, and you can just go through it that way.
I'll take an Xbox One X while you're there. Thank you.
No, well, I can't take the Xbox if I don't have a TV attached.
I'm saying the Xbox is for me. You can have a TV.
Oh, you just want everything, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, so if you're independently wealthy and like buying things for people, yeah, feel free to buy JC an Xbox. So
if you would like to,
I just want a TV for my children, but no, feel free to get JC another, device.
If you would like to be sugar daddy to this podcast, please inquire.
He already has an Xbox, but get him another Xbox, which is, got a slightly faster processor.
I'll sing Smashing Pumpkin songs like Arnold Schwarzenegger to you all night. Shakedown 1979. Ow.
Either Pat Patterson.
Enzo Amore defeated Kalisto to regain the Cruiserweight Championship in 8 minutes. Yep. Enzo has a great DDT.
Yes, he does.
That DDT is beautiful. That's about it.
It is the move that he knows.
And he's good at it. I will give him credit there. Too bad that move can't get him back in the dressing room.
No. I just picture Enzo getting dressed in a bathroom or just a little tent maybe that he puts outside the dressing room. Just getting dressed in the gorilla position. I don't know.
I picture him just in the hall. He's just in the hall. But yeah, I don't even want to talk about this match because nothing really happened except for Kalisto getting beaten stupidly. But Enzo Amore moves ratings for 205 Live, so.
Well, hopefully that tag match earlier will help get people watching the important part of 205 Live, but it is what it is.
I will say Drew Gulak doing his shtick and doing it very poorly while reading it off a clipboard. Fucking hilarious.
Yes.
Why Drew Gulak is not one of the top heel managers in this company right now, I will never know.
And see, I know Vince doesn't seem to like managers anymore, and managers are kind of passé now in pro wrestling in general. But hey, it's kind of passé. But you can have Gulak as being the wrestler / manager, and that works. Where he's the assistant, but he also works matches, here and there. Okay, well, you have him associate with a larger guy or something like that.
If
somebody who can't talk.
If you had Gulak prepping a 245 slide PowerPoint presentation to show Paul Heyman why Jinder Mahal is going to beat Brock Lesnar, it would be amazing. And I would actually maybe care about it. It would be so good then. That's what he's good at. And he's Drew Gulak, and I don't want to take anything away from him. Drew Gulak's a fantastic wrestler.
Yeah.
But they have tapped into something in him that, and you know, on the indies, it's not like you're cut a shit ton of promos anyway, but like they've tapped into something I don't think anybody knew he had in him. And I love this political gimmick thing. It's fun.
And he has great ring gear too.
Yeah.
Like he has this whole kind of like I've seen some of his ring gear where it's like just a whole like jacket kind of like combo outfit. Yeah. Shame he's so small.
Vanilla midget.
Because if he were 6'2", 235,
oh, Jesus, he'd be getting fruits and veggies thrown at him. Oh, we've totally left that out of this whole thing. Oh, I didn't. No, we'll get to it. Never mind.
We haven't got to that.
Yeah.
Save the big matches for last.
First, we have to talk. Jesus. First, we have to talk about match of the show and WWE Match of the Year contender Finn Balor versus AJ Styles. They gave him 18 minutes and 20 seconds.
I have one complaint.
Okay. I have a couple.
I really wish it wasn't the Demon.
I agree. I get why they did it, because they promised it and sold it on that. And that is a selling point to the casual fan. So I understand that.
That really was my only complaint about it. And just overall in general, I think they're going to the Demon a little too often. The Demon's a thing that maybe comes out twice a year, maybe,
I'd even say 4 times. Just do it at the Big Four. That's cool.
But not necessarily even the Big Four, because yes, I understand you want it at the Big Four, but it's not something that should be scheduled necessarily. Like, oh, big pay-per-view's coming up. No, it's you got to build up to it. It's, you have to bring the Demon out. He doesn't just turn around and go, oh shit, big pay-per-view's coming up. Maybe I should get my Demon up. There's no switch.
That's true. My only other that was one of my complaints. My other complaint, and this is not the fault of anyone whatsoever, but AJ was a little slow, and they weren't clicking at 100% of what I think they were possible of, and it's totally 100% due to AJ's schedule. That's
right.
all it is. Like, I would have loved to have seen their first encounter be on, a day rest or, a normal travel schedule, because of course they would have performed the night before. But just because it would have been, I think there would have been a little peppier. Not that it wasn't. Not that I wasn't just sitting here losing my shit for 20 minutes, because I was. But
now, mind you, we're not talking about, oh, he flew from California to get to Minnesota or something like that. Man came from Chile.
Him and Hunter flew from Chile.
And that was the thing, too. Hunter went down to Chile, supposedly, I thought, to take Finn's place.
He was taking Kevin Owens' place.
That's what it ended up being.
Well, yeah, because it was a SmackDown tour. It was down there.
Right, but the whole thing was they were pulling AJ off the tour because AJ had to work the pay-per-views, so they're like, oh, we'll turn around and we'll send Triple H down there for a match to make everyone happy because we're pulling one of our main draws off of it.
Right.
Now, Owens, on the other hand, Owens left the tour, not because of health reasons, but pretty much to take a couple of personal days, of which he did not elaborate on, and I have no desire to find out about.
Yep.
He appears to be he's back with the company. So
yeah, his wife posted everything's good. So cool.
Yeah.
Good for them.
I mean, I've got kids. I understand
you need
where
this job?
it may have been yes. I understand the fact of where it may have been a thing where just sometimes you just need to be home. And Kevin is, I mean, if you look at his like Instagram feeds or like, any of his Twitter, his family's his life. They are a very tight family. It's not like one of those things where he's, on the road 260 days out of the year and the rest of it, he's just kind of, I guess whatever. He is very tight with his kids and his wife, and
yep.
It may have been a case where he just needed to be home because the family needed to be together, not necessarily for health reasons or a scare or problems at home or anything like that. Sometimes you just need to be home.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And being in Chile instead of, within when you're doing the regular tour around the States or whatever, and Owens has been known to take the time between the tours, or like if he has a couple of days to actually fly back home so he can see his family and then go back on the road, that type of thing again. It's different when you're in the States and you just need to go to, Quebec, I guess.
I think so.
When you make, a couple of, 5-hour flight or something like that from the West Coast or something like that, that's not a huge deal or whatever. But when you know that you're basically 12 hours away or so, I have no idea. I don't know how flying. That's another hemisphere, basically. When you're a hemisphere away, it's
tough.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
This match was so good. And here, okay, and we start flying for time here because we've run long with dumb impressions all night.
Ew, why are we going so long?
Because it's Halloween Havoc 99, Tom. 98? 99. 99.
99.
Yep. Holy shit, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I remember. Okay. So you have Finn beat AJ here. Just clean. And good win. That's what it's a Raw pay-per-view. That makes sense. Perfect.
My God, that coup de grace, man.
Oh, God, he stuck it.
Oh,
he had none of that momentum forward or backward.
No, that was... God bless you, AJ, and I hope you ate nothing that day.
Why you have Finn beat AJ clean Sunday to have Kane squash him Monday? Why? Why, Vince? I know we have to build him.
I hope you expected me to have an answer.
I don't. I guess I understand you need to build Kane up to feud with Braun, because why not? But really, he needs to beat Finn, who's got all this momentum off of a legit match of the year contender, to just squash him with 3 choke slams. Because that was a squash match. It was. It had time, but he beat him clean. And the crowd was like, oh, okay. Kane. Like, what was... I just don't get it. I'll see where it goes. It was one match. But it seems like you just killed his momentum.
When you come down from the demon, it makes you weak.
Yo, man, can I get some more of that demon? You got any more of that demon? Jason Jordan defeated Elias in 8 minutes and 50 seconds after Jason Jordan spent the entire night throwing fresh produce at Elias while he was trying to sing. In a series of two vignettes, and then the vignette directly before this match. This was so stupid. Why was Jason Jordan throwing fruits and vegetables in his ring gear? Also, where did he find fruits and vegetables? Did he just walk across the street in his ring gear to the local grocery? Like, what the fuck? It's the Target Center. Maybe there's a Target in there. I don't know.
Could be. This is straight up sitcom writing gone wrong, where
Yep.
Theoretically, in cartoons or whatever, when you have a bad performance, this goes back to like vaudeville time. Bad performance are pelted with rotten fruits and vegetables and that type of thing because that's what you did 100 years ago. And that's something that's still kind of left over from cartoons, but some writer turned around and said, hey, what if we did that in, real life? And nobody wants to say no, so.
And nobody cares. Elias getting legit heel heat all the time now. I love it. Like,
yeah.
People want to play along with him, and they're finally playing along with it by booing him. It's great. The Shield, by that I mean Kurt Angle, Happy Dad, Kurt Angle, Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins defeat The Miz, Cesaro, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, and Kane in a snuff match, is what I'm going to call it, since Braun was murdered. There's so much to unpack here. Let's just start at the top. 1, the Shield entrance when Kurt magically appears behind him with the dumbest grin on his face.
It's just like he was cool dad. Like, you had the two kids in the front that are just doing their best to be, we are badasses. We're total badasses. And he just rolls in like hey guys, is this what we're doing? Is this, I got the stuff on like you.
It's like the two sons dressed up for Halloween and the dad shows up and he's like, I got the same costume. You're like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I was going to say it's like, the two kids are going to like the concert and dad needs to give him a ride and dad reveals the fact that he's also going to the concert and he's wearing like the concert t-shirt too. Like, we're going to have so much fun, guys. Like, no.
Yeah, it was hilarious. But the best, what makes it even funnier now, than it was on Sunday, is on YouTube they released this like mini documentary. It's like the minutes before the match, like talking to Kurt about what it means to be back in a WWE ring and his journey to get there and everything. And it's just like super serious and like you can tell he's like talking about, the ritual he has to go through to like get fired up and get focused for a match. And then like it ends with him like walking, like you see him walking into the entryway there into the bowl. And then the next shot is what we saw, him just smiling like an idiot. So yeah, that was a highlight of this match. This match was a chaotic train wreck, but in a very good way. You have Kurt taking the safest table bump of all time, thanks to Monster Among Men Braun Strowman, who cradled him like a baby straight through that table. And I really didn't want Kurt to take a table bump, but that was perfect. If he had to take one, he was so well protected.
I was going to say, he was going to have to take one. If he was going to go through the match, he was going to have to take some kind of bump. And
I also really enjoyed watching Kurt cheer on Seth and Dean when they jumped off the ladders onto the announce tables, and he's just standing on the bottom, like waving his arms, like, yeah, go! Because the whole first, 5 minutes of the match, I was like, Kurt's just here. He's just, following Seth and Dean around as they're doing stuff. So Kurt goes through the table. Kurt gets taken out by medical. Crazy beatdown ensues, blah, 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 blah. Kind of, the big plot point of this match is Kane accidentally hits Braun Strowman with a chair at one point. Strowman shoves Kane. And ends up, going back to the match. Then they get to the top of the ramp at one point when everybody's fighting. Strowman chokeslams Kane through the stage, or no, other way around. Kane chokeslams Strowman through the stage, then pulls down the hanging chandelier of chairs on top of it. 2 minutes later, Braun Strowman is not finished with Kane yet, so he stands up, goes after him, and everybody gangs up, and by that I mean all the heels gang up because Rollins and Ambrose are dead somewhere, and they throw him in the back of a garbage truck to compact and murder him. While the crowd chants, "That was murder." And we've not. And then Monday night we find out, oh, he'll be out a couple of weeks. What? This is why I love pro wrestling. It's so damn ludicrous sometimes.
They've basically rebooked Braun Strowman into Sabretooth from Marvel Comics. Sabretooth, for those of you not necessarily comically inclined, is like the brother of Wolverine. They both have this like mutant healing factor, but Wolverine's kind of different in the fact that he's a smaller kind for, superhero types. He's a smaller guy, but Sabretooth is this like monster, 7 foot tall kind of freakish mutant type thing. That's pretty much him. It's like, okay, you can basically kill him, but his mutant healing factor means he'll be better in like a week or so. So it's okay.
Yeah. And then Shield gets the win after Kurt comes back. They do the triple power bomb. Kurt even gives it a little tribute to the big dog, Roman Reigns. Hit the triple power bomb.
Girl.
Get the win. Fun match. It was just fun. It was chaotic.
Yeah.
It was chaotic fun. I mean, it wasn't. We knew it was never going to be a good wrestling match because that's not the point. But I was highly sports entertained for 35 minutes.
Cesaro doesn't like tables.
God,
Did you see the spot?
No, which one?
The spot where he goes to put, I guess, Ambrose, him and Sheamus go to put Ambrose to the table, and I don't know if he just didn't like Sheamus, I guess, kind of pushes it, like kind of throws him forward, and Cesaro on the same page and kind of like thrusting him forward, so it kind of like slid over, and he ends up sliding off the table.
Oh yeah.
And they just do the shot of Cesaro, and Cesaro does the Toru Yano shrug.
Well, Dean took bounces off of 2 tables. I was like, oh, that's not fun. And then I saw someone got a clip of the German commentary. And for anyone who's watched Botch of Mania, you'll appreciate this. After that first one where he bounces off the table, the German commentator's yelling about something, and then it gets real quiet, and he just goes, "I am the table." And I was like, it made me really happy. But TLC was a good show. It is definitely one to watch.
Yeah.
If you have not watched it, I do recommend watching this one. It's a fun show.
Oh, I want to circle back a little bit just for some reason for Jason Jordan and Elias.
Okay.
I know you lost power Monday. Did you happen to see the Jason Jordan Elias match?
Nope.
Rematch.
Not that I would remember it if I did.
Yeah. Nothing of any real event outside of the ending. Jordan and Elias end up on the outside, and Jordan's kind of like throwing Elias around.
I saw the clip of
Elias
this.
is bouncing around, and Jordan goes and charges in, and Elias grabs the guitar, and in the most violent way possible, slashes the living shit out of Jason Jordan for the immediate disqualification. But that's not how you do a guitar bump. And they showed the welt on the side of Jason Jordan's bicep.
Yeah, him swinging that guitar, we know it damn near concussed Finn that one time.
Yeah.
Now he's screwed up Jason Jordan's arm. Maybe we don't do that anymore.
Maybe somebody just needs to pull Elias to the side and go, look, buddy, this is how a gimmick guitar works.
Yeah, because obviously we're not going to hit him over the head with it. So we got to figure out a way to do this. Something safer. I do remember seeing the clip of that the next morning and being like, oh, no.
Because I'm looking at it and I'm going, that swing is what you do in a legit fight. Like, if somebody was coming up to you with a knife or something like that. You grab something off to the side and you go to swing because you want to hurt the person that's coming at you. That's how you do it. The angle that he did that, it wasn't like a side thing. It wasn't so you can take the wide flat part and just kind of get an impact that way. No, it was like a chop, like a 45-degree angle downwards with like the edge of the guitar. It was just Jesus.
It was brutal. Yeah. But yeah, fun show. I say watch it. It's a watch.
Yeah.
You know what else? You know what else you need to watch, Tom?
What's that, Jason?
Match Exchange. Watch the Match Exchange. What did you watch this week, Tom? Speed round.
I watched, I can't think of their actual names. Jon Moxley versus the CZW guy who's now referee in WWE.
Drake Wirtz, I think was his name at the time. Drake Younger, whatever. I think his real name's Drake Wirtz.
He was like the golden boy at the time or something. Yeah. I don't know. Sure was a match. I'm not a huge Dean Ambrose fan in general. I know, whatever. And I watched it, and I'm trying to figure out, I guess CZW is very similar to ECW in the time in that, screw it, we don't bother to go by rules because they went to a fork early, which apparently is Jon Moxley's weapon of choice.
Correct.
So this was the Abdul the Butcher Invitational, where the other dude grabbed the fork, proceeded to fork the forking hell out of him, and then back and forth. And you had a decent amount of blood, mainly from Moxley. The other dude does like his finisher, which I know the name of that, and it's completely blank on me, but it's a hell of a dangerous looking finisher, which he ends up dropping him. Ideally, it was done really well. Almost gets the 3 count, but not quite. And then for some reason, out of nowhere, Moxley gets like the roll up for the 3 count, which was the complete most disappointing ending to a match I've seen in a while. It was just like,
sorry,
what?
Go ahead. Was it the DVD Death Valley Driver? I had to look up his finishing moves.
No, it was like he put him
the
over his
driver
head. It was like kind of like he balanced him on his back with his head kind of like facing down, and then just kind of like dropped back almost like in a kind of reverse backslide type thing.
Back-to-back double underhook pile driver.
Yeah, that seems to be what it was.
There we go.
I mean, I wouldn't have called it a pile driver necessarily because, I mean, I know what a pile driver looks like, but yeah, right. I guess similar impact. But yeah, then Moxley just comes and does the roll up pretty much for the 3 count, and it's like, okay.
Right. Yeah.
It's almost like they were like, this match has to go 17 minutes, and shit, we realize that we've run long, and it's like 16:50, and Moxley, we need to do the finish right now.
Right.
Without getting a comeback or anything like that. So, yeah. 2 3/4 stars.
Okay. I think that's fair. I watched the 1988 Bunkhouse Stampede Steel Cage match. That's... Jesus Christ. Why? Like... I hate the, please don't throw me out of the cage like fake struggle. And none of them were able to sell it that well. It's such a flawed concept. And of course, it's a Dusty creation, so Dusty fucking won the thing. Like,
of course.
Everybody's bleeding because it's NWA in 88, so everybody's bleeding. So it's a fat old guys trying to throw each other out of a fucking cage for no reason. Well, not for no reason. The winner gets a giant boot. Pardon me.
and $100,000, I believe.
Yeah, that's true. Ooh. Yeah, so that way Dusty Rhodes can keep cutting great babyface promos about how I got all this money, Daddy. That's because that's a good babyface gimmick to be like, I'm richer than you. Yeah, okay. 2 stars.
That's generous.
2 stars. I mean, I get it for its significance within the lexicon of wrestling and with the talent in it, but it's just such a clusterfuck of a match, dude. It's not even a match.
No, it's
a gimmick.
It again is one of those things where Dusty had a very creative mind, and no one's ever gonna deny that. But I think a lot of times Dusty would come up with match ideas, like in his imagination, and kind of draw them up on like a cocktail napkin or something like that.
Yeah.
Just feasibility after the fact. Just kind of leave it up to other guys and be like, well, we go to we'll do a battle royal in a steel cage. Yep. It's like, but see, the whole concept of the battle royal is you're throwing guys over the top rope to eliminate them. You can't throw someone over the top rope in a steel cage because the cage, I guess theoretically,
I mean, you could.
Yeah. But they wouldn't in a regular cage because the cage is up against the ring apron, so you can't get, even if you go over the top rope, you're still standing on the ring apron,
you're still stuck
and
you
don't go to the floor. So the only way to do it is to climb over the top of the cage, and you can't throw somebody over the top of something that's like 10 foot tall.
True. And the reason I give it 2 stars is because at least it's not a reverse battle royal.
Yeah.
It's LOL TNA. This week, Tom, I'm going to give you a match that pits a new NXT talent against the 205 Live talent. This is Mustafa Ali versus Leo Rush. Flippin'
right.
shit.
I was going to say, I know both of those guys.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll see this match because, you think they're going to put Leo Rush on the heavyweight roster? Lol. I
mean, lucky to make 205.
I would put him on the main heavyweight roster because he's really good. But it's like, God, he's so goddamn tiny. Look at how small he is.
Oh. He's barely bigger than Topanga.
We should put him. We should put him in a bull costume. God damn it! Give me El Torito. That's what we need to jumpstart ratings. God damn it. What am I watching?
So from June 27th, 1986, at least according to YouTube, from the UWF, which was Bill Watts' promotion, which was originally known as Mid-South Wrestling, but when Crockett went big and did WCW, Bill Watts thought, oh, cool, I can be a big promotion too, and we'll call it the UWF, and then Crockett pretty much bought him like 9 months later. But anyway, the Fantastics, and I believe they are the UWF Tag Team Champions at the time, take on the lovable, huggable Sheep Herders. The Sheep Herders, which or most people know now as the Bushwhackers, yes, who are so silly, and they go and they lick each other and they do the arm thing back and forth, and I'm making the motion as if you can see me.
I can picture it.
But the Fantastics were just another babyface tag team. They were great workers and right up there with the Rock and Roll Express in the way of babyface, pretty boy faces that, face in peril, all that type of thing. I think the Rock and Rolls had the gimmick of being the Rock and Roll thing in a little bit before them, so they kind of had the established territory. The sheep herders, again, bushwhackers, fun and lovable. Sheep herders, vicious and like, yeah. I remember seeing pictures of matches that they would do in like the aftermags, and just how vicious that they were, using like all kinds of weapons and hanging people with belts and coat hangers and things like that. So completely vicious. And like, if you've only seen the bushwhackers, you've never seen the sheep herders, it's a little bit taking aback seeing like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
But
okay.
These guys, I mean, and they had a huge feud, the Fantastics and the Sheep Herders, all throughout like Mid-South and UWF, and they ended up going over to Crockett and doing it there. One of the last matches they did in UWF was this barbed wire cage match.
Wow.
So that kind of gives you an idea of, again, something I'd never seen before, which when you're looking in the aftermags just look cool as hell. But that's how vicious this kind of battle was.
Right.
So
I'm excited to see it.
Should be, yeah.
It'll be a fun one. All right, Tom, tell the people where they can find you on the internet.
Go to the Twitter machine, at Mr. Workrate, at MR Workrate, and don't go anywhere else because it's too late and I'm not going to accept any kind of things. And unless you want to buy me a TV, then I'll accept your friend request.
There you go. You can find me on the internet on Twitter, Instagram. I'll find our social media at JCBobbit, JCBOBBITT. You can find the show on Twitter at CheatersInVRPin. Also, if you love us a lot, you can give us a like on the Facebook machine as well. You can click that big blue thumb right there. We appreciate it. And wherever you're listening, rate, review, and subscribe. And we appreciate that. And tell one friend about this show this week.
Yeah, we'd appreciate it. We do it for you.
Tell one friend, tell them to tell two friends, and then we turn this into a multi-level marketing scheme.
It's the Amway of podcasts.
So next week, we'll talk wrestling.
Maybe
we do more impressions. I don't know. Maybe we do an entire show that's John Laurinaitis with Vince McMahon and Yogi Bear. Could happen. Anything is possible.
It might.
It probably will.
Send in your requests.
Yeah. All right. Well, for this weekend, Cheaters Never Pin, I'm JC.
I'm Tom.
And we'll catch you on the flip side.